Hi everybody, Angie here, coming on to do a make with you guys. This video that we're going to be doing today is a recreation of a video that inspired me by Louise Heinzel. If you don't know who she is, put her name in the search bar, Louise Heinzel. She is a fantastic YouTuber and creator here in the YouTube world. Doubt that there's too many people that haven't seen a video of hers at some point in time. She recently did a video which she is calling Reverse Masterboard, and I was so inspired by it. I wanted to do one for myself, so I did one off camera, and I'll show you the makes that I did with that, but I thought I would do one with you guys. Very simple process, but it's just doing master collage boards and just leveling it up and bringing it to the next level, and it's just so much more fun, and I just loved it, like I said. So I wanted to do one with you guys today. All you have to do is basically just get like two 8.5 by 11 digitals that you like, that you want to work with, kind of basic as far as colors and how do I want to say, the design, because you're going to be building on it, so you don't want anything too loud and too colorful for the base. Okay, we're just doing the masterboard base, and then you build off of that. I will be putting her link to her video in the description box below, so if you have not seen the process on hers, please go and check hers out. Absolutely fantastic. She does beautiful, beautiful work. Okay, I could not find any digitals that I wanted to work with where I had 1 or 2, 3 scragglers laying around, but I did find these, and these were digitals 8.5 by 11, but I minimized the size, and I think I was going to use these for another project. I never got around to it, and these are, you know, like 5.5 by about 8, and I just cut them down. So I thought we would use these. They're just collaged pieces, layered pieces, but they're digital, okay? And they're just some random ones. Here's some like with some maps on them. Looks like some type of a travel. Again, these words go with these. Very beautiful images, but they're just smaller in size. So we're going to be using these today. Okay, so I thought I would use this, since the nice green and yellow, I thought I'd use this for the top layer, as well as maybe one of these. And then we'll use these ones for the base. And between these, we should get a good size collage masterboard to work with. Okay, so the process is, it's called Reverse Masterboard. Okay, I'm going to bring my cutter up. Now, what we're going to do with these is we are going to turn them upside down and randomly do various size cuts in these pieces and use those as our masterboard. Okay, so I'm going to try and get a half. So this is 8. So I'm just going to cut this down in half, 4 inches. Okay, I'm not going to look at them. I'm going to turn it, and I'm going to cut it in half again. So 5 inches, so I'm going to cut it at 2.5. Okay, now she did random various size cuts, like these are in rectangles. Okay, so we're going to put those off to the side. Now these are a different size in general. So we're going to, again, I'm just going to stack them on top of one another. And 6.5 inches, so we're going to go to 3.25. We're going to cut it in half. Okay, then we're going to stack them and turn them. A little over 5, so about 2.5 or thereabouts. And bring all our pieces up. Okay. Now from there, we're just going to mix them up. Don't look at them, keep them upside down, and just kind of do a mix. Okay, once we think we've got a good mixture, still keep them in reverse. Okay. And then we're going to start building them back into a full-size sheet. Okay, we're not going to look at them. We're just going to be randomly putting them together. Now we can put them together according to size or mix them up, however you see fit. And I think she used just a little Scotch tape and we're going to put them down. We're going to match up the edges, and we're going to use some Scotch tape, and we're going to put them down. Okay, just random. We're not going to look at the design. Okay, and this is where the reverse masterboard comes in. Okay, and I saw her do this on her channel, and I was just totally blown away. She came out with some beautiful, beautiful pieces. Okay, and we're just gonna tape them together, random pieces. See, here I'm coming into a little bit of an issue, so we're gonna overlap that little piece right there. Okay. And just keep on until we have all our cut pieces together in a good size. And we'll try to get it back to, you know, like about an 8 by 10, 8 by 12. It depends on how many pieces you've cut down. Okay, let's go this way. And we're just putting them down. Okay, on this one, I'm gonna just maybe, if I end up with a smaller piece, I'll fit it in that square there. Let's see what we end up with. If I have to cut a piece down somewhere, see how we're ending up with some little bits that are open. That's not a problem. We'll fill those in as we go. Let's do one here. And you can see how it's just getting bigger and bigger. Now this one, let's just go ahead and cut this down now. So I want to make sure I'm not looking. I'm just going to cut a piece to fill in there. Okay, we'll cut another piece to fit in there. Just going to fill it in. And I don't remember if she had this many smaller holes to fill in, or if her pieces came together perfectly, but this was the process. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this one right there to fill in that little gap. Okay, and we'll keep right on going. Okay, we've got 3 more pieces here. So let's see. Let's do one up here. And let's cut that down. We can probably get 3 pieces out of that. And by cutting them down into smaller pieces, that just really makes your masterboard, once we flip it over, that much more interesting. Okay. And just butt those pieces right up next to one another as best you can. Let's put one over here. Okay, we've got a little piece here and a little bit over here that we still have to fill in. So let's just cut this down a little. And we'll fill in right here, this gap. And maybe right here. And that is our reverse masterboard, guys. Okay, and then once we flip it over, then we can trim it down and square it up as we see fit. Look at that. Now, keep in mind, there's going to be edges and corners and stuff that need to be taped down and reinforced. So we can just bring in a few more pieces of tape where we see that it's kind of flopping around on us. Okay, I think that's pretty good. And there we go. And we've got our masterboard without looking. Isn't that fun? Now, could the pieces have been mixed up a little bit better? As we can see, all these pieces kind of came over here and all the lighter colors came over here, but that's okay because that's just step one. Okay, so from here, what I'm going to do is I want to shape this piece a little bit better than what it is. Okay, so I'm just going to trim off all these little pieces that are sticking out. Just to have some semblance of a full-size sheet, something like that. There we go. That's good for a start. And then we still have these little bits that we can use too. Okay, so that's step one, guys, to our reverse masterboard. Okay, and I'm just putting a couple more pieces of tape where I see it up a little bit. Let's see. And this strengthens your page as well. Okay, so there we go. And I see this is coming up a little bit. I'm just going to bring a little bit of glue right there. Okay, so look at that. Isn't that pretty? Here's another one. Okay, so that's step one. Now step two is to bring in your second piece of paper that you're using for your masterboard, which for me, that's going to be these two. They're smaller. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to reverse and turn them upside down. We're going to cut these a little bit smaller. Okay, so let's cut them 3 times. Let's see, that's 5, so we'll go down to 2.5. Then we'll take these ones, cut them in half one more time. That's about 4 inches, so we'll cut that down to 2, just like that. So now we've got more pieces cut, and they're a little bit smaller than the first round. Again, we're going to mix them up. Let's move this out of the way for the moment while we do our mixing. Okay. And just randomly mix these bits up. Okay, keeping them upside down. Bring our base back in. Okay, and we can keep it upside down, or we can turn it right side up, whichever you feel more comfortable with. Okay, so from here, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking piece randomly, 1 piece at a time, and we're going to be layering and building off of here. And we're going to be putting this piece down. Since all the pages are kind of similar in color, just for the second layer, so it kind of pops off the page a little bit, I am going to be inking them. And I think I will use ground espresso for this process. Okay. And you see how you can see the layering, but just to help it pop off the page a little bit, I'm just going to be taking away those white edge and adding a little bit of color as we go. As a matter of fact, let me see how well, maybe if we do several of them at one time, let's see how well that takes. Line them up. And I just really want to bring in a little color to the edges, just so it'll pop a little bit more when we put these ones down. Maybe this will save a little bit of time on this step. I've never tried doing multiple pages like this, but it's working a little bit, as you can see. Just deepening the color on the edges there. And just trying to save us both a little bit of time. Okay. All right, I think that's good enough. And if I need to bring any more to any individual pieces, we can do that. Okay, so the second round, pieces are smaller, and we're just going to be layering on top of the first. We've already mixed up our pieces. Now this one's a little bit more precise, so we can use these as we see fit. Now, so this one has a little bit more text and a little bit more red, which I've already got a lot of red and text over here. So I'm going to bring this element, this piece, and I'm going to put it over here. Okay, and we're going to do that with all of these. We're going to use whatever one's on top and just lay them down randomly. And each layer we're building, building, building. Let's do it right about there. Okay. Next one, same thing. When I saw her do this, I just was like, oh, this is just masterboard, and we're bringing it to the next level, guys. It's so fun. Still, the finished look is pretty much the same, I would say, with any type of collaging, but just knowing that we did it on the fly and on the blind just makes it so much fun. And I don't know, makes you, I guess maybe makes you appreciate the finished piece so much more. Because I just had a blast watching her do this. Okay, so we got some yellow. Let's maybe bring this one down here. I don't know. Okay. I don't know. And turning your pieces as you go and just build. Okay, this one has some yellow, so maybe we'll bring this one up here. Can you kind of see already the depth as I'm putting the second layer down? Overlap your pieces, do whatever you want on this stage here. And I'm kind of gluing it to my book there. Okay, let's see, maybe, I don't know, let's put it right there. And the thing is, just don't think too much about it, I think. Just collage, just put them down and just have some fun. And you'd be surprised just how fun it is. Once you do it, you'll get it. You'll be like, oh my goodness. You know, we collage all the time, but we're very precise as to where we put our pieces. I think this one is to just kind of free ourselves and just go with the flow. And I'm sure 10 times out of 10, we are going to be pleased with the outcome when we're done. Okay, I got 2 left. Let's bring some down here. One more. There's a lot of yellow. Let's, just for fun, let's just cut this one in half because we don't have that much yellow. And let's just put one over here in the corner. And then this last one. Maybe there. And there we go. Look at that, guys. Isn't that fun? I mean, just a very simple step by looking, by laying them down randomly upside down. But look at the beautiful piece that we end up with. Okay? Very, very pretty. Now from here, you can definitely just stop, trim this piece down. Here you've got a masterboard. You could trim this down and start working on your tags, your journal cards, your little covers for notebooks, whatever, you know, maybe little smaller bits for clusters, whatever you want to do. But you've got yourself a beautiful, beautiful base for whatever you want to make. You can cut it down to 8.5 by 11 and use this as a base for a actual page in your journal. It's up to you. But isn't it beautiful? Nice start. So now from here you can just stop, or you can continue building as you would any masterboard. You can add in inks, splatters, gesso, Mod Podge, stamping, whatever elements that you want to do. More layers. You might have some labels, you know, that you want to bring in. I mean, I have a few bits and pieces here from the prior masterboard, reverse masterboard that I brought in. I mean, they're just laying here. You can use them. And just keep building, whatever you want to do. I'll trim down some of that white. Okay. Maybe put that right there. Okay, I've got another word label. And it's just so fun because you see all the texture, all the layering, all the building that you're doing, layer on top of layer. And you just go till you feel you want to stop. And I have to say thank you, Louise, for bringing this new idea to life, because I think it's just absolutely awesome. We all love our collages, and this just brings a little extra joy to our lives, for sure. And I'm just doing this step just because these pieces are here, but totally up to you what you want to do with your collage, your reverse collage masterboard, that is. Okay, now from here I think I want to try maybe some little bit of stamping while my hands are nice and dirty. And I brought in a couple stamps, and I think I'll just use some black. We'll use black soot. Hopefully that will be able to be seen just for another layer of goodness to our piece. Okay, and I'm just gonna do a little bit of random stamping, nothing too intense, just for some extra layering. Maybe a little bit right there. Bring a little bit in down here, turn our page, and just do some randomness. Okay, I see it looks kind of bare right here, maybe a little strip of something right there. Let's turn it around again. Maybe a little something right there. Maybe a little something there. Can you kind of see how it's just building as we go. Okay, that's good. And like I said, the limit of each layer is completely on you. Now that I've got my hands nice and dirty, I'm gonna grab a wipe here. Clean myself up a little bit, guys. Okay, now from there, again, stop whenever you feel like you want to stop. I brought in a stencil, and I thought, hey, let's do a little gessoing as well. And this is just a Tim Holtz stencil. I don't know if they have names on it, but as you can see, it's this one. And stuck. There we go. I thought maybe we could use this portion a little bit. And I do have some acrylic gesso, and it does say fast drying, so hopefully it won't take too long. But I have my heat gun here as well, just in case I decided to do this step. And we're just going to do some real quick and I'm not using the correct tools, but we're just going to go for it. Okay, and I'm just going to put a little bit of gesso on my acrylic block here. Wipe that off. My bone folder. I'm going to grab a random card here, and we're just going to do a little bit of random pieces here and there. This piece I got here, it's a little bit dry. Trying to do it, scrape it really good to keep it thin so it won't take long to dry for us. And let me grab another wipe here. That's kind of a dry piece. I'm going to get rid of that. I mean, if we wanted to do some letters, we definitely could. I'm just kind of keeping it basic because we don't know what we want to decorate on this piece. So I'm just kind of keeping it general. Okay, kind of messy, but we'll stop there. Just to kind of give you guys an idea. You know, you just really just go and go and go until you want to stop and just build. Let me wipe a little bit of this off real quick with my wipe while it's damp. Okay, that's pretty good. And I'm going to hit this with my heat tool to kind of help that dry a little bit faster if we can, so we're not waiting too long. And then from there, you just decide where you want to stop, and I think we'll stop there. And then we start cutting our masterboard down into the size and shapes that we want. Whether we want tags, whether we want journal cards, what have you. Okay, let me plug this in. I'm going to hit that real quick. Okay, here we go, guys. 30 seconds, okay? maybe, I just thought about it, maybe we do want to do a little bit of splattering. I don't know, do we? Let's do ground espresso again. Well, do we want to do a different color? We don't want it all to look all. Why don't we bring in some vibrance to it? Let's do my pickled raspberry. Let's do a little bit of this. And my let's just do a little. I don't know how well it's gonna show on this dark paper, but let's try it. We're just building and adding texture with each layer that we do. Okay, I think that's good. Bring that white back in. My hands are good and dirty now, so I do apologize. Kind of yucky. But that's half the fun, right? Well, at least for me. Maybe, hey, I have some tissues here. I'm going to grab one and just kind of blot those splatters a little bit. And I think I'm going to hit it one more time with my heat gun. Here we go, guys. Very subtle, but can you see that? I mean, I just love the texture. Okay, what else do we want to do? Maybe lighten up, darken up some of that gesso. Is it dry enough for us to work with? A little pasty, but if I go gently, I don't want to wait. You guys do this, definitely wait till your acrylic dries, but this is just for fun. I'm going to slightly and lightly try to darken that up a little bit. We want it more for texture, not so much for the bright, stark whiteness there. Okay. And then, oh, I used black, didn't I? Doggone, I was wondering why it was so dark. That's okay. I'm going to bring in some more pickled raspberry. Just right on top. Maybe a little bit where the black didn't pick up. Just a little here and there. I like it. Okay, I think we'll stop there. But you get the gist, guys. You could just keep going and going and going, of course. But the whole concept is to flip your papers over, cut them into small pieces, retape them back together in random position, and then until you've got yourself a nice full-size sheet to work with. Here, oops, we have a beautiful masterboard. Look at that. Isn't that yummy? All the layers, all the textures, and then we just trim it down to size. And let's just cut that off. And maybe a little bit right here. I'm gonna flip it over. Still a little tacky. There we go. Look at that, guys. Isn't that yummy? Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay, so then from there, we just want to decide, do we want to make tags? Do we want to make journal cards? What do we want to do with this? Let's cut it down. Let's see, I've got 9. So I can do, let's do a 3-inch. I like my tags to be about 3.5 inches. So let's do a 3-inch strip here. Okay. And then let's see, what do we got here? Let's do maybe a 4-inch. And then we can do maybe a couple square journaling cards there. And then some smaller journaling cards here. And I'm not even measuring, I'm just cutting. See what we get. Okay, and then we got a couple extra strips here to use maybe for something else. Okay, so let's see what we got here. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that. That would make a nice tag, so let's just do it. Where's my scissors? Let's make that into a tag. And I do apologize about my hands here, guys. We're almost done. Okay, so there's one pretty tag. I think that will be a good, nice journaling card. Good size. So I need a piece of scrap paper to cut against that. It never wants to cut if it's just one thickness of paper. You always have to back it with another piece of paper. You never want to cut. Okay, look at that. Isn't that yummy? There's a journaling card there. I think that would be better as a tag. So let's just cut that down. Okay, so we got another little shaped tag there, a little bit wider. I think these will make some good journaling cards. I'm going to clean that up. That's kind of wonky there. Okay. And then let's round the corners. My journaling cards, I normally will round the corners on a journaling card. So we'll go ahead and do that. Up. Caught a piece of gesso there that's not quite dry. So it's stuck. See that? Easy fix. We will just manually do it. There we go. And on we go. And this one didn't quite cut. Let's try it again. There we go. Okay. Let's get these bits out of the way. Okay, so we've got a couple more journaling cards there. And then we've got this long one. And let's see. It's not straight, so let's straighten that up. And I'm thinking, why don't we do on this one, I think this would make a nice little tablet cover. Make a little notebook. But I've got that strong piece right there, so let's try and get that folded over. Right in the middle. And that'll make a nice little notepad. Look at that. We'll put some fun pieces of paper in there. Okay, I think that's what I'll use that one for. Okay, now the back, of course, shows all the patchwork and the splotching and the tape. So what you want to do with that is just bring in a piece of coffee dyed paper, and this is just some random paper that I had. Let's see, let's use the biggest one. I think that's the biggest one. Let's go ahead and cover that. Okay, so once you get your shapes, you'll cover the backs however you see fit. Trim it up. And you got yourself a nice sturdy card. It's kind of wonky. I'm going to clean that edge up a little bit. It's kind of not straight. There we go. There we go. We've got ourselves a beautiful base for a journaling card. Okay, so that is it, guys. I will do the rest off camera as far as covering the back sides of all of these. I probably make this one into a little notepad. We've got ourselves another journaling card and a nice size tag. But you guys get the concept, okay? Same masterboard collaging, except just doing it on the blind. And it is so, so fun. And depending on the digitals that you use, you never know how the scraps and the pieces are going to line up together, and you are going to end up with some beautiful, beautiful pieces to work with. Okay, so there's that one. I'm going to bring in real quickly ones that I did the exact same process. Okay, I did layering with the pieces, and then I cut the second 8.5 by 11 digital into smaller bits and layered those. I did some stamping, I did some gesso. Rather than on this one, I used a stencil, where on this one I just did some random scrapes here and there, and I let it dry, and these are the tags and the pieces that I came up with. I just did a bird element, brought in a leaf because I thought that just brought out the color from that bird, put a little fabric tab on the top, and I did stitch around this one. Okay, isn't that gorgeous? Love, love, love it. And I think I was just with a bird theme on these ones, guys. This one here, I just brought in a fussy cut owl, brought in a label that says brave, and then just used a different type of a ribbon top here with a staple. Simple as that. Okay, this one, beautiful blue. I don't know what kind of bird that is. I just did a little label here. It says take flight, and I just didn't put anything on that one. I think he just stands alone, just as bright and beautiful as can be. Okay, and then I got out of that 8, roughly like we did on the first one, about an 8.5 by 11. And on this one, I got 2 journaling cards. Brought in a little bird, couple little labels. I just did a straight stitch around this one. Okay, beautiful. And then on this one, I just brought in a chipboard bird. I used a real feather, and I think this is a pigeon feather. I got it out of my yard. A little label, and then I just, of course, did some inking around all of them. Okay, so that was so, so, so fun. So guys, definitely give it a try. You will totally, totally enjoy the process. Here's the ones I did off camera. Here's the ones I did for the bases with you guys. I've got 3 journaling cards, a tag, and then a little long strip that I'm going to use probably for a little notepad. So there you go. I hope you liked the video today, guys. Thank you so very much for spending some time with me. I had so much fun. I will be doing this process so much more in the future. You will love it. I highly suggest you give it a try. Again, check out Louise Heinzel's video. I will leave her video down in the description box for you guys to view if you're not familiar with who she is. Until next time, guys, thank you so much for spending some time with me. I appreciate each and every one of you, and God bless. Bye-bye.